Good morning everyone, Philip from BlackBull Markets here. It is Monday, the markets are looking good. So we've got some market analysis for you guys. My colleague has recently just released a video. Well, we've just released the videos. For you guys who want to learn how to use indicators, please have a look at it. It will be under our MT4 tutorials. It's also on our website during the FX Academy, under the FX Academy section. So do have a look at that. We will be posting, that should be there by now as well. But for this, we got this market update. We got a lot of pairs to go through. Markets are looking very good. I'll take you through some of the recaps we did look at last week to show you guys where we are up to and sort of catch up to speed again. If you haven't watched my last video, do have a look. It is quite insightful if you do want to sort of catch up to the rest of the story. But we'll dive into it. A lot of pairs to go through, and we'll just dive straight into it. So the first one we've got is the AUDCAD. That's the Aussie Canadian dollar. We've got it on the daily time frame. Now, if you do remember, we were looking at it, waiting for it to reach this resistance area. It has now reached it. So this area is around about 0.956 or 0.95. You can sort of see, I'll zoom in for you here as well. It has made a nice tweezer top, so you can see these sort of spinning top candlesticks that did form, and that obviously that tweezer top forming from those wicks. Now I'll show you why I drew these lines here. I'll take you down to the lower time frame. So we've done a bit of sort of multiple time frame analysis, which is always good to look at. I'll take you down, and we'll go to the hourly. So you can see on the hourly it has made, actually we'll take you down to the 30-minute, which looks, you can see a bit better. So also the spread is a bit wider, so keep in mind it is Monday. Markets are not very volatile, well, not a lot of volume in the market at the moment, so traders are sort of all just waking up and getting ready. So, but the patterns are all there, so keep an eye on it for Tuesday, or for you guys as it is Sunday for the majority of people. So keep an eye out on these. If you do trade on the higher time frame, the spread shouldn't bother you too much. But anyways, back to it. So you can see it has made this channel on the lower time frame. So if you want to wait for that before it breaks, or for a break either to the up or to the downside, you can enter a trade based on that. Do keep in mind though, however, on the weekly you can see it is a downtrend, and it is a very, very strong resistance area we have hit. So that is looking good for the downside at the moment. But like I said, if it does end up breaking to the top, we can look for moves to the top, obviously putting our take profits in the sort of other resistance areas for future. But yeah, so this is looking good for the AUDCAD. We will move on to the Aussie New Zealand now next. So we've got a couple of Aussie pairs here. So this is the Aussie Kiwi. So you can, as you remember, it looks quite similar to our Aussie CAD actually, but you can see it has also broken through very strongly with this massive bullish candle through this bottom we had. It has retested it twice, so it is also looking good for the downside. Moving on to the daily time frame, you can see it is sort of a bit in a downtrend. I would say you can almost say that this is a bit of a wedge forming as well. If you do want to do some pattern extra analysis on this, not the very prettiest wedge, but it is sort of forming there. And the weekly, you can see it's sort of a sideways consolidation. We might even be able to draw a trend line over here as well for expected level. If it does move further down, we can look for this expected level down here as well. So there is a chance it can go either way, high chance of it going either way, so not really a certain direction. But if we do break through down further to the bottom, get rid of these. That trend line over here could be a good potential place to take your profits. Also, now that you're looking, you can see it has sort of also hit a support level. So like I said, either way, there are a good couple of trades that we could look for. But the main pattern we're looking at is the 4-hourly chart. Moving on to our Aussie dollar. So this is the AUDUSD. This is on the 4-hourly time frame. So you can see it has sort of broken past this, past this support area. It did a little bit of a resistance there. Well, resisted it a little bit there, and then has eventually broken through. So we could look for a potential head and shoulders to form here. This being our neckline, and up here being our shoulder. So you can see for a potential move down to here, moving up here, and completing that head and shoulders pattern. But if you look on the higher time frame, we'll go to the daily, you can see it is in a big downtrend, has hit a very strong resistance area. So chances are that the trend will continue. But like I said, if it does form the head and shoulders will actually confirm the trend further to the downside. but again, there are always options for it to move further to the upside. For example, if it does come to this lower level, which could be a very good take profit area, you can see it has offered a support for for 2 hits actually. Well, it's you can see here. So if it does come down to there, that could be a very good take profit zone for it to happen. So just have a look and wait for this. I would personally, I would wait for this pattern, for head and shoulders pattern, to develop. You could even maybe take a trade based on that support resistance area as well. So just do, and also please just do manage your risk well, as it is Monday. And then moving on to our Euro Aussie. So this is the Euro AUD. This is a daily time frame. So again, a potential setup for a head and shoulders pattern. You can see we've got our left shoulder forming down to the neckline and the head, and has moved down further to the neckline again. So I'll just draw. Actually, I'll use this patch, this square over here, to show you. So you can see that could be our potential neckline, and this being our other target for our right shoulder. So we could see, you can see it's already sort of started. We'll see what happens for potential move. Personally, I don't take these moves at all, as this, we never really know how far the shoulder could go, as this is a consolidation zone. So this is never really for me, it's never really a good move. I always wait for the pattern to finish before I do look for any further moves. But if it does hit there, you could potentially take the trade based on that. If it does give you a confirmation pattern, i.e., for example, like a tweezer top, or a dawn star, a shooting star sort of pattern, any sort of dojis, those kind of patterns is what we were looking for. But this would hopefully be the end result of what we have. So potentially taking a trade up here at the shoulder, and again, once it breaks past this low, I would say the low of the neckline, including the wicks, just to be a bit safer as well. Moving on to our EURCAD. So again, we've got, this is on the 4-hourly time frame. You can see we have a nice channel forming. This channel has been forming since last week. So we'll wait for a potential break. You can see nice couple of touches. So this channel has been confirmed to be very strong. So if it does break, we could see potential good moves. Do keep in mind that we have had this sort of double bottom. So it could, and it is a channel, is always, if you do take away the lines and you don't look at the channel, you can always see it is higher highs and higher lows. So do keep that in mind, that this could be also a start of a trend. But if we do look on the weekly, the daily, you can see it as sort of a downtrend. It is actually forming a wedge as well. So there are a lot of patterns if you want to trade this on the shorter time frame or the lower time frames, whichever you prefer. So it's good because we've got a couple of patterns. So we've got the daily, we've got the wedge, and the 4-hourly. Let me just fix this again. So in the 4-hourly, we have this very nice channel forming. So we could wait for a potential break. Even if you do want to trade on the smaller time frames, like the 30 minutes or the 1 hour, you can wait for the bounces on that trend line to take a trade to the next section of the channel. So you can trade for the top. So nice long over here when it does touch a trend line, and give you that confirmation pattern. And then again, when it touches here, you could trade possibly to the downside as well, again on the 30-minute time frame or the 1 hour, even any lower sort of time frame. Moving on to our euro, the Swiss franc Japanese yen. Try and find it. Oh, okay, no, sorry, I can't read my own writing. So it is a Euro Japanese yen, there we go. So if you guys, a good piece of advice I could give is always write down these patterns, or write down the sort of currencies you have looking at, so you don't forget them, because we are human and we tend to forget things, especially when we get older. So I've heard, I'm already starting young, so that's why I do tend to write these things down. But it's a bit of an update. You can see here it has broken through that channel when you guys do, if you remember the last video we made. So it has broken through that channel. We are now waiting for a potential move further to this low over here. I'd use the base of these candles just because those wicks are very long. So this could be a very good support area. You can see it has offered previous support if we look on the daily time frame. So you can see it does almost actually look like it did give us a bit of a, I'd say, a wonky head and shoulders. So you can see here for the left shoulder, the neckline up to the head, down to the neckline, and again that shoulder over here, giving again a nice tweezer top for, and then a big candle for the confirmation. So a potential trade would have been really good at that tweezer top. And then if you wanted to take that head and shoulders, you could have done like we did here on the smaller time frame, draw that channel and wait for it to break through that channel. So now we can wait for a break of this neckline. I would say just because the wicks are so long, I would use that smaller wick, wait for a confirmation between there. But just do keep in mind, keep an eye out. So do manage your risk, keep your stop losses reasonably tight, as it is a very strong support area. So now we move on to our Euro US dollar. So you can see this is now, it's made a gap this Monday, so we've hit, this is the 4-hourly time frame. So if you look on the daily, it's a small gap, but if you go down to your smaller time frames or your lower time frames, you can see it as a reasonably large gap. So we're looking for a potential move to a bit lower to this double bottom, so it does form that nice bottom, and then we could potentially trade it up. You can also see here on the daily time frame, it has formed it. It's sort of forming a channel as well. So we'll wait for that. If it does break, we can trade this a very nice move to the short side. You can see it is sort of on a downtrend as well on the weekly, and you can see here as well. So, but potentially you could even trade it between the channels if it does bounce, because we do have sort of two confirmations here. So we've got this larger double multiple bottom here on the daily time frame, and then on the 4-hourly you can see it has made again almost a double bottom as well. So do look for that potential nice trade to the top side. If it does break, we can look further to the downside. Obviously you can see here we've got nice support areas that it has used, proven strong for previous resistance. If it does break, we can look for further moves to the downside using these other support areas as well. So this one over here offered a bit of support over there as well, and then obviously the low we have over here could be a potential take profit area as well. And now moving on to the pound Aussie dollar. We have on the 4-hourly time frame, so it has broken out of this wedge that we were looking at last week. You can see it has also gapped down, so we're looking for another nice double bottom, potential double bottom move. You can see again that same area over there. I'll just use this line. You can see that same area has offered previous resistance as well, so that is quite a strong support area. I'll just take away this, show you guys that it has again here offers resistance and a resistance again in the previous history as well, so you can see resistance and resistance. So it is a very strong key level to look at. If it does break, we can look for a further move to the downside. Obviously if it bounces to the top, we can look furthermore. Even you can look for a potential head and shoulders here using that as your left shoulder, this part over here, to complete a nice pattern, and again continuing this downtrend. Moving on to our Kiwi dollar, so the Kiwi Swiss franc. So this is the NZDCHF. This has now finally moved up. We had that little pattern. I'll just, before I delete that, I'll show you here on the 1-hourly. You can see we had that nice little pattern, a false breakout, but it did make this big candle. So I mean, if you were to take that trade using a buy stop, or even taking it once it's broken that line, you could have taken a nice trade to the top using that 61.8 level as a take profit target, as it has also offered previous resistance and support. So it is that was a very good level to look for. Now we can see it has made this nice sort of strong pattern over here, hit that nice strong support, made this I would say it's almost an evening star, I would say, but nice little sort of looks like a hammer. And then you can see, so we've got our nice bull candle, the hammer, and then the bearish candle. Bit of a gap down, has sort of filled that gap again, as the market tends to do. And we now we can look for a potential move further to the downside. But if we look in the smaller time frames, you can see it is sort of an uptrend. So, but the strength is in that downtrend. So there are potential trades either to the up or to the downside. And also, if we look here on the weekly, I'll just get rid of this. You can see that it is a very, very strong resistance area. It has offered previous support a couple of times, and then so you can see it is very strong. You can see supports 1, 2, and 3, and then again a bit of resistance here, now resistance again. So this is a very strong level to look for. So it could be a very nice move to the bottom if you were looking to take that. And now moving on to the gold. The gold has we've been looking at the gold a while back. If you remember, we were around about this area over here, looking for that finishing this candle over here, and then we were looking for this potential key level to move for. The reason why this was a key level is because we had this channel over here, so that was the target. So we connect this low and that low to form this channel over here. On the weekly, you can see it is that sort of resistance area. Well, it did offer support, and now it looks like it turned to resistance and made this big, nice candle move to the downside. And so we can look for potential bounce on this candle. If it does break through, we had a nice little flag pattern to trade to the downside. But if it does continue to consolidate between these lines, we'll make them a bit longer. If it does continue to consolidate between these two lines, you can look for further trades on the sort of intraday or smaller time frames as well. So this is quite a few to look at, so do write them down if you do want to watch this video again to just sort of get all the patterns. So I'll just list them all for you now. So if you have a pen and paper with you, we've got the AUDCAD, we've got the AUDNZD, we've got the Aussie US dollar, we've got the Euro AUD, the EURCAD, Swiss franc, Japanese yen. That was more of an update, so waiting for that double bottom. We got the Euro US dollar, the Pound US dollar, the Kiwi Swiss franc, and now our gold. So XAUUSD. This is on the daily time frame. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. A bit of a lengthy one, but a lot of patterns we can look at. So, like I said, if you did like it, please do give us that thumbs up. Click that subscribe button, followed by the bell icon to get notifications of whenever we release videos. And if you do want to get in contact with us, please do so. Our details will be provided down below in the description of the video, or if you want, you can go to blackbullmarkets.com, click on the little green button that says live chat, and our support team will be there waiting for you. If you prefer contacting us via email, please do so at support@blackbullmarkets.com, and we'll be waiting, and we will get back to you shortly. All right, everyone. Thanks very much for watching. And from everyone here at Black Bull Markets, safe trading.